Hi, today we are auditing the website Lattice, which is
HRMS, which is a HR management software, and they are industry leaders in this domain. Overall, as a website, I thought it was user friendly, and some sections had new ideas that they've included in terms of UX, which we'll get to. The hero section that you land on, I thought it was very effective because, first of all, they've put in the proof right in front. So for a tech company, it's important to have your reviews, G2, Capterra and so forth, and they've put that right in the hero section. They even have this fun element in their button which prompts the user to click on it. So they have a preview of the video loading in the See Lattice button itself, which I thought was quite interesting. And even the staggered approach to the way the cards are stacked. It's quite unusual, the layout. And also when you hover on the cards, the video starts playing.
this is something that I was also thinking of. Like I accidentally hovered over it and that's when I realized it was playing. But I think what they're playing on mainly are these capabilities that they're showcasing and how they've built a hierarchy out of that as well. So they know what their ICPs are looking for and they put that out front first. I believe even keyword and SEO wise it helps a lot. Immediately you can go onto those pages and just be looking at what you're looking for, right? So yeah, I find that very.
And even without the video, the static image also makes sense. It is not without meaning.
To me, it feels like it's a lot of cumbersome elements. Like not only the color is being registered because it's moving, it's also these cards that you're saying is moves on hover. So it's so many things going on that I don't know if it could have been spaced out better.
So I agree with you. The first time that I was shown this website, it felt a little overwhelming. But at the same time, I also get that the hierarchy is done in a way. So I am in two minds. Could it have been like in terms of the scale of the card smaller?
Maybe more white space as well.
Maybe. Yeah,
I think it breaks out from the traditional way a website would be perceived, right? So it takes us some time to get used to it. But once you register it, it becomes easier to navigate.
What I also found interesting in the copy is, there's one thing that I keep trying to look at in the website, what is the tangible output that they're giving. A lot of companies in SaaS especially don't say that out front, or you have to look at the navigation bar and say, oh, they have platform or they have whatever XYZ. But here they're talking about an HR software that is in their H1 copy, which I thought was very straightforward and out there right away.
So the copy is quite effective, you're saying?
Very much.
Very clear it is.
It immediately gives you an idea of what this is about.
And who it helps also. And what you get out of it. So everything is captured in the first screen that you landed, which is actually...
Like moving forward, I found very interesting in the sense of use cases being utilized to show capabilities. Like we saw that in I think a few websites, but not effectively done like this. Where it is a use case and a testimonial at the same time that shows credibility and capability.
And it also is condensing all that information into one concise piece of...
Yes.
So I agree with it on a copy front, but I had a issue with it on a functional aspect. So because these cards are on automatic scroll and there's a fade out, I don't know how many there are, one. And two, they've removed manual functionality. Like I can't physically scroll through. The only function it gives me is when I hover on the card, the automatic scroll stops. So I don't know how much is there for me to read. And there is no CTA that leads me to the main page where I can see the list of use cases and I can filter. So it always helps when the user has manual control. Like when they can filter and see what they want to see, right? So I thought functionality wise this could have been better, but in terms of copy and all, it's good.
In terms of copy and all, it's good, but even your eye doesn't know where to navigate again in this section. It would have been so much more effective if it was just stacked. Sometimes the simplest ideas are better, but here again they've developed some new style for the brand that differs from the hero section itself. These icons and all look quite different.
It is a little difficult to wrap your head around because there are so many things that are happening, is what I was also looking at. And one conclusive observation that I made was every piece of copy or content or communication that they have is supported by some visual. Now I don't know if that is all.
And not the same kind of...
Exactly. And the colors are also like a mix of different
gradients
and gradient and solids and
They could have narrowed it down. Most tech sites don't have they are more focused on driving the point of the copy home
Yes.
rather than building out such an extravagant brand.
And also there are places where it's like very structured, like this, where the cards are very templatized or very straightforward, but then there are these quirky elements that suddenly come. Yeah, it is a little bit
Mismatch in what they're trying to communicate through the brand
these
itself.
stickers have come suddenly and this doodly stuff.
They could have reined it in. The copy is very effective. I had a question about the screens itself. How effective do you guys think the screens are, and how much information they put?
The dashboard
the
imagery.
dashboard imagery
They've
and
done
all.
it very well.
Don't you think it's too much information? Like the number of screens and the amount of information.
So even if you see their dashboard imagery, the way they've done it, whatever information is not essential, they've grayed it out. Like
Okay.
they are not showing every single element on the dashboard. Only what is essential to the content is colored or highlighted. So in that way also it's reducing
So it's helping
how
you
much
navigate,
literacy.
huh.
That also. So even in their inner pages, I observed that wherever they're showing dashboard imagery, everything else is grey. So you're only looking at what the function of the copy is. But coming to their video, they haven't followed the same principle. They show the dashboard in its full. Well, I mean, for just such a short homepage, they do a really good job of communicating what they do.
Packing a punch basically of all the things that they want to cover.
It's essentially just 4 sections.
Yeah.
Whereas other websites take 8 to 9 sections to say what they do and how they do it. They've managed to do it in such a concise way.
So the information architecture itself seems in place, but the design I feel could have been resolved better. It could have been more cohesive and less overpowering.